Two different styles. Listen.
Lama Sabatani, the chef and fame back the Holy Ghost with the Tommy.
The pale horse behind me.
I know you see the chariots suspended all around me.
The lights and the thunder and the sound is astounding.
We in the last days. The Lord with me, tell me why I ever be afraid.
That's why I'm sharpening my blade.
It's hell in the cell, Undertaker on the cage, throwing mankind from the rafters to the stage. At the same time with his eyes in the blade.
Get it, dog, if you're afraid. It's written on the page in the scrolls of a sage coming from a different age. Where the last shall be first and the first shall be slaves.
Jesus, the chef in his bag again. 12 tribes finna start battling.
And that's when the bones start rattling.
And thrones start shattering. Devils on fire, that's live from the Vatican.
They want to oppress us, and they want us to allow. They want to oppress us, and they want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is I agree with you perfectly. This is the basic problem.
Then what do you?
That white people think they're better than others.
I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings that close schools. You guys draw the boundaries that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write up the restrictive covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
I was made in the image of Yahweh. My spirit Marvin Gaye, heart pumped with black power. Way before the days when he tore down the towers. I ain't talking 9/11, Nimrod had the power. That was Shinar. Before that we had the showers. Before Adam got deceived, he said the world was ours. Lost it in a second, cause we bite and we devour. Was given all of the earth and we don't even say the water. Gave us Messiah, we don't even say our Father. Who art thou in heaven, so our burden's getting harder. Word to the turbans on our elders with the Taurus. No capping, that's a rap. Yahweh Shai, he died for us. Mamas cried for us, daddies did their best if they survived the whole time. The Edomites, they lied to us. Synagogue and Shaitan want my body and my mind. My soul for Yahweh, my purpose is aligned. This little light of mine running dim, but it shines. The majors and Shaitan pulling at me, but I climb. You're looking at divine, most merciful and beneficent. The sun, moon, and stars, the creator of the firmaments. That's why I stay marching to Zion, it's like a tournament. The rounds getting harder, but I still walk the waters. Euphrates and the Nile, the Mississippi River come to me. I will walk across the currents with a smile. That's faith over trials. I still hear Mary and my grandmother telling me I was special as a child, but I was in denial. The killers and the crack addicts made it hard to smile. She knew I would repent but keep my drug dealer style. Several gold chains, you can see them from a mile. I'm wild effervescent. I'm proof you can grow through your trials and your lessons, your curses and your blessings if you seek his acceptance.
I need
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Sham, Waya Sham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
Disclaimer, parental advisory warning. Parents and guardians are hereby advised that this class contains mature subject matter and may be inappropriate for children. Attendance is intended solely for mature audiences and may include, but not limited to, coarse language, sexual content, and suggestive dialogue. Viewer discretion is advised.
Beard Icon. Elevate your beard experience. Beard Icon provides luxury beard care products for the distinguished gentleman. Have you been searching for the perfect grooming kit to complete your beard routine? Well, look no further. Featuring a balm, beard wash, conditioner, and 100% natural brush. And we can't forget the beard oil, packed with the essential ingredients guaranteed to give your beard the shine and luster you've been looking for. Get your luxury beard care kit while supplies last. It's going fast. Everybody wants one. And yes, I mean everyone. Order yours today. Don't wait. Use special code SOT to get 10% off your entire order. Beard Icon. Elevate your beard experience.
I hope y'all like that. That was Supplication by Roy the Chef. It's dangerous out here. I hope you guys make it home safe.
Yo, check it out. You ain't worried about that.
Yo, what was that about? Don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand.
Most people just wear clothes, but some wear a message, a reminder of who we are and who we stand for. This isn't fast fashion, it's covenant, it's culture, it's identity, built with purpose, designed to last, created for those who refuse to blend in. When you step out, let your garments speak. Before you do, join the movement.
I'm wearing an Israelite's brand.
That's when I be yelling, I'm Jew by blood. Y'all dudes not us. And I don't believe in y'all, but in y'all I trust. I'm just a common coolie commandment keeper. I know it's hard to live righteously in the land of evil. They got you feeling like damaged goods around damaged people. And truly life is a movie, just can't demand a sequel. Verily, all you hypocrites, heresies and Pharisees only fear God, so I know the devil's scared of me. They stole us from our land, they stole our land.
Coming with a mouthful of gold and gold chains around our neck.
That's why they think of airing me, saying what God's saying, like a parakeet preparing for the
Shop the collection now before it sells out. Click the link below and secure yours today.
Younger brothers, they're not here. And then I start asking the Most High, why? How come I'm the only one out of my whole family that you didn't take me? And then it just came to me. He said he was saving me for a purpose. And so that's my reflection on it. And I hope some of you take this to heart. You're going through your lives, things get hard for you. But you got to remember that the Most High is running the show. You do what he say, you can expect great things to come. So that's my reflection. I hope is, a lot of you take this to heart. When things go bad, just think of, man, it ain't going to be bad like this all the time. Because we're his chosen children, and he works mysteriously, we can't figure it out, but that's how it is with the Most High. He ain't gonna tell you what he gonna do. He just do it. You pray and you ask for stuff. Hopefully you ask for stuff that's not vain. Like, hey, I like some hair. That's vanity, really. I'm all right. But that's my reflection. I hope you take this to heart. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Y'all take it easy.
Soft and warm, the quiet storm.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom. Kwame Yashala.
Kwame Yashala.
Hey, Shalom, family.
Shalom, family. Hey, man, first and foremost, we want to start off by giving, of course, all praises, honor, glory, and thanks to the Most High God, Yahweh, and we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, man. Of course, double honors due to the General Yahweh all and the rest of the Auto Wayne over here at the Sons of Thunder, who have taught us his doctrine and taught us well, man. Peace and blessings to everybody who is tuned in or may tune in later, man. Thank you all for tuning in to another SOT After Hours, The Quiet Storm. Yo, where tonight we gotta talk about what did Christ mean when he said, love your enemies? What did Christ mean when he said, turn the other cheek, right? You have heard that it was said of old time. What was Christ really saying when he said these things? Because what I've noticed in today's day and age is that Black people have a lot of skepticism. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Yeah, we have a lot of skepticism about, of course, the script, the Bible and its origins. Stay tuned in for SOT Reacts. I sure y'all know what's going on. Stay tuned in for SOT Reacts on the subject coming out soon. But our people have a lot of skepticism towards their own text And it's done like that on purpose, right? I don't know if y'all caught what Muhammad Ali said earlier, right? He said something along the lines of they want you to be oppressed, and guess what? Have nothing to say about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I played that for a reason, because a lot of what he's saying is what we're getting ready to go into, right? The way that we follow Jesus, the way that we follow Christ, right? A lot of the misrepresentation about Christ has to be cleared up in today's day and age, man, because his message that's going to heal us and our people. It's applying these teachings that's going to heal our communities. But guess what? We won't do that if we've demonized it, if it's been used as a weapon against us, right? If it's being viewed as a negative, right? Or as if though it discredits the pain that we've been through here in the United States, man, the consistent reality that we face, right? And as a matter of fact, if you're questioning that, just go to our Sabbath class that we just aired over on our SOT Israelites page, taught by our lead instructor, General Yahweh. Make sure you go to our main channel at SOT Israelites on YouTube and check out our most recent live stream. That being the Sabbath class going into the Hamite theory, right? How racism is taught even within religion against so-called black people. So definitely, if you have not already, and if you're kind of on edge about what it is that I'm bringing out to you, definitely check out that lesson, because guess what? It's full of examples, old and new, right? So with that being said, amen. Make sure you tune in with all of our classes. Of course, tune in tomorrow morning for the bar for bar with our main channel. And of course, make sure that you're tuning with all of our channels as well. Of course, this being the Bay Area channel, but make sure that you tune in with, of course, the New York page, Washington, D.C., Baton Rouge, Fort Myers, Florida, Chicago, Cincinnati, Quashash, Arkansas, ATL, Alabama, Watchtower, this channel right here, the SOT Bay Area channel, in Jacksonville, Florida, and Most Able, and so much more to come, man, right? And of course, if you're interested in doing the work of the Lord with SOT, man, send us an email to sotisraelites@gmail.com, man, because guess what? Yo, California, we need you. Our brothers and sisters out there need this message, man, right? I'm going to explain a little bit more in depth as to why, right? And I want you to, and guess what? We're going to try to reason with you. I understand the reason why you could be a little bit apprehensive about what the Hebrew Israelites say, right? You don't want to just take anything at face value, and I get that. But guess what? We're going to show you what it is that we're saying right out the scriptures, man, right? That it's not just us saying it. Guess what? It's what the scriptures actually says, man. That's how we try to do things over here at SOT. And if you want to do things that way and build up your city in that spirit, guess what? Send us an email, sotisraelites@gmail.com, man. And of course, if you want to support the body, even in other ways, guess what? It's ways that you can donate, man, right? Our Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Our Zelle is at the bottom of the screen. And of course, you may think, well, I want to put more in. Our brothers got boots on the ground. Our sisters, you could get heels on the ground, right? Send us an email to pillarsofrest@gmail.com, man. But without further ado, for more edification, go over to our Patreon for more content and, of course, more consistent edification, much similar to this, but on a grander scale, right? Especially with what the general is getting ready to post on there tonight, right? But with that being said, man, again, love your enemies. Turn the other cheek. What is Christ saying when he teaches these things, right? Because you look at Hebrew Israelites like Hebrew Israelites are actually twisting the Bible whenever you teach anything outside that does not sound like what this says, right? When you say, guess what? God doesn't love everybody. There's a specific group of people that he loves. Or if you say, guess what? we don't want particular people groups around us. We would rather worship on our own, right? With brotherhood and sisterhood amongst our people, right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You say, well, hold on, wait a minute. You, what Gino say, right? Oh, you hate your brother.
You hate your brother. You hate your brother.
Right. Or they say, guess what? That's not what Christ said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when it comes to us bringing up what it is that's happened to us throughout history, right? All across our history, right? And also, according to a warrior, it's already posted. So get over to the Patreon as soon as possible to check out what we just posted on the Patreon. That valuable resource that you have to show not only just with yourself and understand that, but you got to show that to your children. You have to know how these people think about you, right? That Sabbath class was so important. If you don't do it right now, take some time out, set some time aside to check out that lesson, man, right? Scriptures tell us what to order our days, to number our time here, right? Make some time for what? For your own edification, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so important in these times, man, because they're trying to do everything that they can to mislead us and misguide us. And guess what? They'll use the words of your own Messiah to do that too, right? And when it comes to the words here in Matthew chapter 5, it has been no different. I want to say it's actually on the thumbnail of this video, right? The verses in subject. Matthew 5:39 and Matthew 5:44, right? Let's go there as a matter of fact. This is probably not going to be a long lesson, right? And even though we played the disclaimer and whatnot, we probably not going to be up on here talking too crazy. Lord willing.
No.
But no, we're not going to be talking crazy. God forbid. But instead, guess we got to really have the conversation, man, right? If you want to engage, hey, let us know. If you disagree, you Hebrew Israelites are actually wrong. There is no way it can mean that. Let us know. We'll talk about it with you, right? But it's late in the evening, right? So definitely make sure that, of course, hey, we can have that conversation, right? But hey, what I posted something earlier on Facebook, man. No wall hugging, right? But that could be taken the wrong way. I'm talking about when it comes to biblical engagement entirely. No folly.
No folly.
They gonna say no wall hugging, brother. Oh no.
Oh,
like
no,
I said, it's late in the evening, right? Just for a lack of better terms, y'all, right? But I don't want to get off subject. When it comes to this teaching of Christ, how it's been used is you all are wrong for, guess what? How it is that you view history.
Mm-hmm.
How it is that you view history in the grand scheme of things, right? And the way that we interpret the scriptures, in the way that, of course, the Most High God, he's not going to overlook the transgressions that's happened to his people throughout the events of slavery, throughout the modern history, the new era with this colonization that has gone all throughout the world. Yo, you're telling me that, guess what? Christ said, turn the other cheek. Is that being used and applied the right way? Are you so sure that you're using that in its proper context? Wait a minute. When it comes to the atrocities and the when it comes to the atrocities and crimes against humanity that have taken place during slavery in the United States, you're telling me that what Christ would have us do is resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right hand, on the right cheek, turn to them the other also? You sure you got that right? Are you? That's kind of confident in a plain way, right? But that doesn't do any justice to, of course, the surrounding context and what Matthew 5 is actually teaching. Now, if I'm not wrong, we have a teaching on the Bay Area channel where we break down the whole of chapter 5 and what it is that Christ is actually teaching here. But we'll get a brief summary real quick. Let me get the book of Matthew chapter 5 and go to Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 17 real quick. Let's start there.
Count that one. This is the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So don't even think that I've come to destroy the law. I'm not come to destroy these things, but I've come to fulfill. This makes no sense to say, guess what? I'm coming to do these things so that you no longer have to. It's never been it's never been something that you have to do when it comes to the prophecies. It's what the Most High God has set in place. So, and it's the same thing when it comes to, it's not exactly like a choice, like, well, you get to do, like no, it's by his command that he's set these things in place. So when it comes to what it is that Christ is saying here, even within its context, and scholars will agree with this definition, Christ is making the law and the prophets to be obeyed the way that they should be. You look at the entirety of chapter 5, it's that same exact teaching. When it comes to being angry with your brother without a cause, despising him in your heart, right? He was never allowed to do that. It's not something new that he's teaching here, right? But he's teaching the commandments the way that they was always supposed to be kept. You was never supposed to be coveting your neighbor's wife in your heart. That's always been against the law. But guess what? That hasn't been emphasized to you. And when you look at the leadership that the nation had within this point in time, it makes sense as to why. Because what did Christ say himself? When the blind lead the blind, they all fall into a ditch. So when you have a people that's blinded by, again, things like the internal work, it doesn't matter. With things like the external outward show of these things, that's what we got to push to the forefront. The tradition of the elders, that's what we got to uphold, rather than what? Not one jot or one tittle, right? They're picking and choosing. Guess what? The people are going to do. They're going to pick and choose. They're going to hear what they want to hear. And when it comes to resist not evil, when it comes to what Christ is teaching here, it's the same exact thing. You want to talk about that? We'll have that conversation with you. Send us an email at sotisraelites@gmail.com. You want to talk to me specifically about that? Send me an email, sotchicago@gmail.com. We'll talk to you about that. Show us where we err in that understanding. You got it, King.
Hey, just to add to your point, give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. Because what a lot of people don't understand is what Christ is teaching. He's teaching the laws, but he's making a major point that was being dismissed by the leaders of that time, right? They was teaching the law, but they was teaching it for filthy lucre, right? Making a Lord's house, a business, right? They turned the Lord's house into a business. Oh, you want that turtle doves? Then you gonna have to. They was disobeying the laws concerning how they was dealing with their people. right? Even though they're the Pharisees, they're the doctors of the law, they're the teachers of the law. So when Christ was teaching the people, he was breaking down a concept that's in the law. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked.
So when Christ was sitting here telling you, you have heard, and we gonna get into it, right? When he said you have heard, he's telling you, you know what the law says, right? So he's teaching the law, but then he's telling you, but I say, why did he say that? Then he went on ahead and broke it down. So you have heard to love your enemy, and I don't want to jump into it right now. But at the end of the day, let's go and get into it.
Come, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Jump to 40. Let's get into it. 43, real quick. Yeah, 43.
In Matthew?
Yeah.
Come. Matthew 5 and verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
So you have heard that it was said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor. That's the law, right? And hate thy neighbor. But what did he say? Read.
44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
What he was teaching you, how to circumcise the foreskin of your heart so you can look at your brother not as an enemy, but as a brother. Right? Teaching you how to overlook an offense and forgive that brother. Right? Because the law said that according to the law, right? If you committed adultery, death, period. Like, period, right? But what's contained in the law? A way about going and executing that judgment. Meaning there's an inquisition that needs to take place. There's a proper set of protocols in place in order to execute judgment. So when the Pharisees brought the woman caught in adultery to him, right, to get him to execute that judgment upon her, what did he do? He sat there, quiet for a second, got up, because he started drawing in the sand. He got up and asked them, hey, if you go without sin, cast the first stone, right? Paraphrasing, right? He was calling out their hypocrisy. Why? Because they was trying to execute judgment, knowing that they should have brought the man as well, right? So what is my point that I'm making? Right? The point that I'm making is Christ is teaching the heart of the law. There's a physical part to it, but also a spirit of the law. And the spirit of the law is what the Most High is really looking at, because it's the heart of the man that's keeping the law that the Most High is looking at. That's why he put that in the law to circumcise your heart, meaning to make a real decision to follow the Most High with all thy heart, all thy strength, all thy might. Don't just do it because of your brothers paying attention to you. Because what are you doing behind closed doors? Right? That shows your true heart. That shows your true intention. So when you say, love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say to love your enemy, and this is how you should love your enemy. Pray for them. Do good to them. Why is he saying that? Give me Proverbs. Give me Proverbs chapter 25. 25 verse 11. This is why Christ is telling us to pray for our enemies, right? And we're going to get into those enemies, who those enemies are. We're going to break it down, right? Because to what we grew up in concerning the Christian church and whatever faith that we came from, right? We always included everybody else in it, right? But when you go look at the law, everybody else isn't included in that, right? But this is what Christ is teaching. Read that.
Proverbs 25 and verse 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold.
Jump down to 21. My bad. 21.
Gun at one. Verse 21. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink.
Why? Read.
For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee.
Because how you kill hatred with kindness, how you overlook an offense and show that you forgive that brother. When you see him hungry, feed him. When you see he need clothing, clothe him. Do good. Render not evil with evil. Right? Because then what ended up happening is he was once your enemy for whatever reason. He was once your enemy, but he's going to look at that. He's going to look at you and be like, man, I did this brother wrong. And because you forgave him and you still treated him as a brother beyond whatever ought that he got against you, guess what? It's going to change him and cause him to not be your enemy, but be your brother. Right? Because a lot of times when we forgive people, yes, it's for us initially so that we can be in the right spirit. But hopefully the end result of that is for them to change as well, too. Right? Go ahead, King. You got it. I think you're on mute.
Salaki, can I be heard?
Yeah, come.
I found the dang back rooms of Microsoft Edge. Salaki. I was just listening to, because I'm trying to pull up an example of how Christians interpret this verse when it comes to challenging Israelite doctrine. But I'm just listening to how our people speak about us, and I'm just like, wow, our people think so little of us, man, right? Our people think so little of each other. We think so little of just so many things, man, right? But definitely about we feel like a nigga can't tell us nothing. We feel like, oh my God. I gotta tell him, Akim. Go
ahead, Ken.
Today at work, I was training a sister on my job, right? I tell you what. We're both interacting with one of our guests, one of our customers and everything. And of course, I'm taking the lead. I'm trying to be respectful, be cordial and everything to our people. But even still, guess what? Our people sometimes, they can be cold, they can be distant, right? Me, guess what? My spirit is, I'm going to try to love you regardless, right? You're my brother. I see you as that, right? But this is the final chamber for us as a nation. Not everybody's there yet. I'm not even saying guess what? Kwabza Allah is perfected. I'm not saying that. But what I'm telling you is what? the mindset that I enter into interaction with my brothers and sisters with, right? I love you. I see you as my own. But guess what? And guess what? Even still, no matter how you come at me, I still gotta love you regardless. So I took that on the chin, the other cheek. But guess what? The sister didn't take it too lightly. She said, yo, this is why I don't like dealing with black people. I'd rather be with the Caucasians. Cause this is how she don't receive the love from her own people, which I found to be a blatant lie. As you know, we can see throughout the day, and of course, interactions is still good. I'm listening. I'm just like, yo, that's got to be the most evilest conversation that I've heard, right? Just the sisters being sisters, man, right? So it's not all the time, even still, but that's what's pushed to the forefront because what? That lack of self-determination, that lack of self-interest, that lack of love for one another, right? When I'm talking about self, I'm talking about us as a people. As a matter of fact, guess what? They shattered that identity for you. What do they tell you? We're all Christian. We're all American, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not teaching that to their children. As a matter of fact, what we just showed you on the Sabbath class earlier, I was listening to that sermon. Yo, and what are they teaching their children? How the Most High God views nations of people. What they're showing to their people is, guess what? Everybody's not equal. And of course, it's an skewed kind of spirit towards their people, and it's lies and blasphemy, especially after you've listened to, of course, us destroy that theory, right? Over on the Sabbath class. If you haven't already, then you come to know that there is no way that could be true.
Right.
Especially with what? The way that they got that doctrine. What? So when it comes to what it is that we see what's pushed to the forefront, and I lost my train of thought, right? Where was I at? When it comes to, again, dealing with our people and our interactions with one another, we have to let the love shine through, right? Mm-hmm. And guess, I spoke to this as I was just like, hold on, wait a minute. I understand. I said, guess what? I understand how it can be difficult when it comes to dealing with our people sometimes. This is something that Christ understood. This is something that Christ tried to prepare us for. Because when it comes to the message that you're coming with as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, guess what? It's not something that's going to be easy. It's not something that everybody's going to receive you for wanting to accept. The point that I was making was how they're teaching their children to view the world, and what they're doing is ingraining a racism within them. What we have to do is ingrain a self-preference for our own people within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The hearts and minds of our children. They shouldn't they can't go through this life with all the enemies round about them from the other nations, man. They're not safe in a place like Turkey, Istanbul, Russia, amongst these wolves, these predators. They're not safe among them. Guess what? Even amongst their own friend groups. What's been going on in the news lately? So when it comes to, and wait a minute, the fact that they feel the need to have to be around them, we showed you this on C4N. As a matter of fact, on Truth Tuesday, we showed you this in person. The brother putting himself down. He degraded himself right in front of them, right on camera. Oh, I'm black because I can't swim. Look at how less he thinks of himself based off of what the perception has been pushed onto him, right? What has he been taught? What are we going to teach our young ones? What are we going to teach ourselves, man? Is it to use this scripture in the wrong sense of just don't give a fuck about what happened to you and your people? Just sweep all that under the rug? Or turn the other cheek to that? Or are we going to put it in its proper context? Excuse my French, excuse my language, but are we just going to, what are you going to choose to do? Right? Because guess what? What I want to show you today is that this is not a perception that you have to keep about this scripture. You're not commanded to have to overlook every single wrongdoing that has happened to you as a people. You're not commanded to bear that burden. As a matter of fact, let me show you how Christ really feels. Let's look at what Christ really said for us to do, right? We say we believe on him. We say that we look for him in his return. We await it, right? But what is it that we're really waiting for? Luke chapter 1 got an answer for you. Luke 18, verse number 6 got an answer for you. Acts chapter 1, and I want to say verse 5, or maybe somewhere within that region. Maybe verse 5 through 12. 5 through 12. Got an answer for you. Matthew 24 and verse 13, it got an answer for you. Because what? The love of many has waxed cold, man. But we can't allow it to wax cold amongst each other, man. We got to warm things up with one another, right? And guess what? I understand where that sister was coming from, and I didn't jump down her throat, but I was kind of like, I was just like, yo, listen. Yo, man, dealing with white people, sis, they'll chop you up, right?
And eat you.
And eat you. Have you? I don't. Yo. And don't take what we're doing for like satire, but no, this is real. This is some real shit. Yo, brothers and sisters is dying left and right. And I do want to apologize. Guess what? This is SOT After Hours. Some choice language can be used on this platform. I want to apologize for anybody that may be new coming onto this platform. Yo, but this is a real life thing, right? We'll try to keep it
to a minimum, but hey,
keep it to a minimum.
Hey man, I know this not I speak as a man, but I speak as a man.
We speak as men, speak on this platform.
We speak as men on here, yo. So the thing is, when it comes to teaching to love our enemies, we all grew up under the auspice of our enemies can be anybody, right? And to a degree, that is true. But when it comes to loving our enemies, now we got to put some context to that. Because I love when the general pull and ask this question, man. What would you say to the slave getting his back beat to his master? To love his master? Love his enemy? In that moment, you're going to tell him whose wife was just great by their own slave master that he got to love him?
Yo.
Whose son or daughter was stripped from their hands and given to another plantation in a whole different colonized part of the country, or even probably shipped across seas to never see him again. You telling me that you're going to use this scripture to tell him to love his enemies? So when it comes to loving your enemies, we got to put some context to that. Because you can't just tell me to love my enemies when this cop just put his knee on my son and just killed him in broad daylight on TV, and I'm supposed to love him or forgive him? because I'm on a camera? How do you feel about such this? You know, your son, he should die. That's what I feel, and then I'm gonna feel like that to the death of me. So,
Yo, and the thing is do I believe that guess what? That nothing should happen as a result of that. Just because I want to be in right standing with the Most High God. Is that what my
mhm.
God requires of me in order for me to be right in his sight? Is that what Christ, my Messiah, my door to the Father, is that what he's asking for me to believe and trust in? That guess what? Yo, it's gonna be all the same. Call on Jesus. Yo, what did Golden Sword say in that one room when he was asked what scripture would he read?
Ah man,
It's horrible, bro.
horrible, bro. Like,
I genuinely laughed because, and I couldn't even finish reading the verse. I remember that I couldn't even finish reading the verse. I had to bust out laughing because I was just like, bro, there is no way. There's no way. But I look back now when I'm thinking like, yo, there's even still, I'm thinking there's no way. But it's from a point of that we've been so damaged when it comes to our outlook of the scriptures. So
mhm.
we want to shed some light on this teaching from Christ to help us understand what it is that he's actually saying. The same Christ that said, guess what? If my kingdom was of this world, my men would fight. Yo, guess what? The same Christ, yo, the same Christ who taught you this. Give me Luke 18 and verse 6.
This is yeah. This is the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 6. And the Lord said, "Hear what the unjust judge said."
So hear what the
And
unjust
mhm.
judge would say if he was consistently asked, if he was consistently pleaded with. You're against the Hebrew Israelites because of what it is that we hope in the Lord for. That, guess what? We won't be subject to the atrocities that we see consistently, man. Yo, that was recent. What we just seen with the young brother Judah.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I got the reports coming in from where? The reports, how recent was this, as a matter of fact, right? Just, yo, let me just look at this real quick, right? 2 days ago.
I was just about to say this had to be within the last week, like, because I haven't heard of it until
Not
today.
even that. Not even that. Just 2 days ago, this footage is released. It took him having to resign.
And he didn't even
How?
resign because of that.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, he didn't even resign because of what he did to that young man. He
Uh-uh.
resigned because he wanted to pursue other careers.
Yeah,
Man.
see, I'm trying to. Yo, listen. This is SOT
Nah.
After Hours. The quiet storm.
These man, bro. Like, yeah.
Yo, listen.
Salaki.
Go ahead, Kenny.
We gonna yield to Aisha, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead, out.
I was just gonna say, like, even in the video, that brother, he's probably not even over 100 pounds. Like he's a small 16-year-old boy, and the officer just had that oh man that mindset to just inflict pain on him and just broke his whole arm. It's ridiculous. I yield on that.
But are we
And
just
not
seeing
even that brother, not even 80 pounds soaking wet, man.
Exactly, con.
dang? But yet, in the situation that they're referring to, of child that ran away from home. You don't have a heart and a mind to think if this is the suspect or if this is the child in question, that we should approach it with some kind of care. But instead, I'm gonna tase your ass. Like, nigga, what are you on, bro?
You're tasing a runaway child.
That don't make
He's not a
no
suspect. He's not a criminal. He got parents who is worried about him. Where did he go? Why did he run away? Right? It's a runaway child. It's not an escapee from the jail cell. It's
not
two different. Like, bro, he's not escaping from your plantation. Matter of fact, he's sitting there. He's not even running. You ran up to him. Telling him don't run. He's sitting there like, white boy, why you even coming up to me?
Yo, his hands is up in the air. He's in full
He even put him back behind when you got close.
And you broke his arm, you imbecile. Bro, I don't know how to I don't know how the hell nigga got his badge out the fucking Cracker Jack box, bro. I don't know how else to
Had to. He won it as a prize.
Like, yo, bro.
Like, you gotta think about this. Within the last few weeks, one cracker retired after giving a young man 36 years, 35 years. Another one retired after breaking another young black boy's arm. Like, the patterns be crazy.
The situation made me mad because it's like, bro, and then you got the gall, the audacity to say, guess what? You don't even be honest with it. You instead just lie and say, guess what? Oh, just want something different. You crazy?
Like he met his quota in life.
Yeah.
Well, I'd go out on top.
I guess it's easy to bow out with grace after you finally fulfill, the fantasy of harming an innocent individual. And of course, you live out your cop fantasy. I'll tase you, get to tackle somebody, and then guess what? You're able to step back away from it with your hands up in the air after his was. And guess what? We're supposed to love these people. Oh, you're supposed to let that slide. You forgot. Christ commands you. The power of Christ compels you to forgive this your enemy. But to do this.
The problem is the problem with that too is that, and this just lets you know how well the system that they have in place is working, because you have some of our people sitting there telling you, yep, you gotta forgive them. Yeah, you gotta forgive them. Out of nowhere, they come out of nowhere, like with a parachute, bright as day, with rainbow colors on it. Talking about you gotta forgive him. So as soon as they get to flying down, I just move out the way and get to cutting him up again. Like, bruh, I ain't got time for you, bro. You're gonna get thrust through getting caught hand in hand with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be crazy, man. Like, it be crazy because when you try to tell your people the mindset of these, matter of fact, let me show you the mindset of these people. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Start at I want to say verse 11, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just
and check out this Sabbath class as well. For anybody that is not aware, check out this Sabbath class. Some very great and useful information was taught.
For sure.
last Sabbath, last Friday night. Check it out on our main channel, SOT Israelites, on YouTube. Go ahead, King.
Right? Yeah, read 11.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Now, they find strength in the law. Why? Because the law was set up to protect them and not us. Right? They count us as feeble, being worthy of nothing. This is why when they do something, they get off and they count themselves not guilty. Because they know they got the law as their strength. Especially if you got that badge. Especially if you got that badge. Right? You reading?
Verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings.
Salakia right there. So it said they lie and wait, right? Actually, hold this. Give me Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. This is how they lie and wait.
Lamentations 4, chapter 18, Salakia, verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Right? So they lie and wait as a cunning hunter, hunting down our steps. Whichever way we go, our life it hangs in the balance because their strength is the justice system. Because it was never set up to protect us. Even in the definition of a citizen, right? Even in the definition of a citizen, we don't qualify as that. Why? Because the Amendment 13, it says what? That we're still 3/5 of a human. It still says that. They never took it out. Right? We're still looked at as cattle. That's why they began to make more money off of us by quote unquote freeing us and allowing us these little fake freedoms to create, right? To create and to so forth, right? Because anything that they use, who created it? We did. But did we have the power to patent it? Did we have the power to say it's ours? No, they took it and claimed it as their own, right? Because they understood a quote unquote free slave makes them more money, right? And I ain't about to get into the whole breakdown of that, right? We got many classes on the channels, on our channels, talking about how that get broken down, right? But they understood that, we got this law to protect us, this law is in place. We got these slaves who think they're free in place. Hey, man, we can play games with them. We can hunt them down and play games with them, right? Our life hangs in a balance every day. Why? Keep reading, though.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 12. Continuing on. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education.
Right? So, because we call them out on ABS, we're two different manner of people. Matter of fact, hey, Quad, can you give me Genesis 25? Right? It is going all the way back to the beginning, showing how we're two different people.
Con,
Verse 23.
I'm there. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Right? So two manner of people, right? Ashayar, go back to that. Go back to that. Read, start at the top of 12. Read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings.
He is clean, contrary to our doings. Two different nations, two manner of people, right? We're polar opposites. We may have came out the same womb, but that don't mean we're truly brothers, right? We have two different natures. Matter of fact, Cloud, keep reading. Go down to verse 27.
Con, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Hey man, when you look at Jacob, what do we do? Do you see us out there in the wilderness hunting deer, hunting bears, and wrestling tigers? Nah, man, you don't see us out there, bro. You see us kicking it with each other with some loud music, probably at a barbecue, playing some cards, some little yah. We chilling in a house, man, with family. But who be out there trying to gain trophies? Esau, right? What the scripture just say over there in Lamentations? What do they do to us? They use us, they hunt down our steps for sports. That's why they can say stuff like this. Yo, I'm gonna retire and look for better opportunities. Hey, come on, man. After just breaking a young man's arm, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and retire after giving this young man 35 years, letting this chink off the hook for killing a young man who didn't take nothing. Right? Because the strength that they have is the justice system that don't care about you, that look at you as nothing of any worth. Because we're contrary to their doings. This is why they hunt down our steps. This is why, matter of fact, go back to the Wisdom of Solomon, jump down to verse 17.
Wisdom of Solomon 2 verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
You see it? They look at us that as a game. They think it's a game. They hunt our steps for games. If when they can kill one of us, that's another trophy. It's like Killmonger out of Black Panther. Remember all those dots he had on him? Every one of those, I don't know if y'all remember. If you're a Marvel head, you know what I'm talking about. But Killmonger, right? Every dot that he had on him represented a kill because it was a game to him. It was for sport. And it's the same things for our enemies. They know that we're contrary to their doings. They know that we're two different manner of people. We're not the same people. We came out the same womb, but we're not the same people. We're not. We got two different natures. That's how we carry ourselves on a daily basis is different. We're clean. It's a clean contrary. Who taught them how to wash themselves? How to walk upright? Captain Quazala was going in earlier on it at the start of the live. right? We taught them all that. They women don't even wash themselves for real, bro. They women is just now starting to use rags. Like, come on, bro. Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
that was before we got on. That was before we got on the live.
Oh, that was be
That was before we got on the live. Then after the conversation.
right.
But now we're talking about these other nations. We don't want to be around nobody but our people, right? Our ways is just we incompatible with on so many levels with these other nations, man. I don't want to be around nobody but my brothers and my sisters, right? And of course, in righteousness, man, right? Oh, you can finish your point, though, King.
Hey, nah, that's you're hitting it on the nose. Cause, bruh, I'm talking about, man. I have such a disdain for them when I go to work, bro. Like, now I barely talk anyway when I go to work. I'm just there, boom, I'm in, I'm out. Right? Because I'm not here to be none of y'all friends. So don't expect me to be. If I don't see my people come in, I'm quiet as a whistle. But I'm quiet as a house ant. You barely know I'm there, right? Because when I get around them, it's like, and they know it too. They know it. They feel it. They know the spirit on me and the spirit on them is two different spirits, right? And to be honest, when I speak to them, I let them know. When I speak to them very directly. If there's no innuendos, there's no indirect wording. It's straightforward. Yeah, that's wrong right there. Yeah, I don't understand that. Okay, what's the wisdom behind that? Well, then if we doing that, then why are we doing that? Like, bro, it's straight up. I don't play with you. There is no um yeah, okay. No. No, I ain't here to kiss your butt, bro. Period. Uh reverse 18. Reverse 18.
Verse 18. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
And that's what we're waiting for, right? This is the what? The patience of the saints for the Most High to deliver us from the hands of our enemies, right? That's what we're patiently enduring this for, right? To be delivered from the hands of our enemies. Because this is what's going on. Jump to verse 20 real quick.
Verse 20. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected.
Matter of fact, jump to verse 19. Let's read 19 into 20.
Count out of one. Verse 19. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture,
Mm.
that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Boy, it is torture. It is torture watching our people get slain in these streets and having and not losing control. It's torturous to watch this go on and not want to go ahead and go off on one of these heathens and just, you know what I'm saying? Just exact that revenge on one of them. Oh, you took one of ours? I'm gonna take one of yours. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But hey, I mean, will we be wrong? Right?
Yo,
Now, I'm gonna be. Go ahead.
I would say when it comes to a point like that, like you got to consider how another nation would look at things like this, man. They bombed their own soil, the United States, But who was they bombing? They was bombing our people. That's an act of war.
Right.
And guess what? Hebrew Israelites, look at how well, Hebrew Israelites, we're not even telling you you got to take up arms and you got to confront them yourself. No, we're
Right.
telling you, guess what? The Most High God is going to destroy them because of the
Mhm.
judgments that's written in the scriptures and because of the just God that we serve and that we pray to. Yo, but you're telling us, guess what? The scriptures ain't on that. Oh yeah, nah, you guys are wrong. And also, you're comparing us to groups like the Ku Klux Klan, who we vary in extreme ways, right? They actually be out there hurting people. They actually go out there and go kill somebody, right? Burn a cross in your front yard. How are we the Ku Klux Klan, the Black Klan? Y'all got to stop saying that, man, right? Y'all misrepresenting your brothers as well, man, right? But it's of course something that Christ, he tried to prepare us for in this Matthew 5. But continue, King.
Hey man, just to end it, right? Jump to verse 20. What was that? The last verse. Jump to the last verse because this is what we're coming into contact with when it comes to some of our people, right? This has taken place. Read that verse 24.
Verse 24. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
The envying of our oppressors has caused many to the love for their own people, right? And I'm speaking towards going all the way back to like I would say the last period where I can remember that we really had a true love for each other was like the 90s. Like we still had issues. Yes, yes, yes. We still had issues. But you still had I'm just speaking as a man, you still had the OGs that would look out for the young fellas. The OGs would be like, hey young fella, get up out of here, man. It's the streets is getting hot. Go ahead, get back to your mama. Get back to your mama. I know she's looking for you. I don't know why you out this late anyway. Oh nah, baby boy, you play ball. What you doing out here in these streets? You play ball. Get your butt in that get your butt in that house and do your homework. And them the OGs that was outside. That was selling dope, doing, street stuff, right? So go ahead, Ken.
But they didn't want that cycle to continue in the youth.
Right.
Now, here, like, yo, I'll continue. I'm gonna let you continue.
Hey, nah, that's part of it, right? Because they understood, like, yo, they was doing wrong, but they was like, look, I don't want you to be doing wrong, right? I understand this. This is a situation where I say, do as I say and not as I do, right? And that sounds like a contradiction because I should be showing you instead of just telling you. I should be an example of what I'm telling you. But even still, with that being said, a lot of the things that I'm gonna just speak for myself, I could have gotten into, I didn't get into because a lot of them OGs, right? A lot of them OGs kept me out of that stuff. Like, nah, hey man, you and your brothers, man, what you doing out here this late? You know what I mean? Like, so you don't have that no more. Where you don't have that. You don't have that village mindset in our people like that anymore because death has crept into the world because we envy the ways of our oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? when we're supposed to be doing this. Give me Proverbs 3:31. This is a commandment that we're supposed to be following.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
We envied him and chose all his ways, and guess what happened? Death has crept into the world, right? And we find it on a daily basis because we hold to it. We cling to it, right? Instead of the life more abundantly that Christ have came back to or have came to offer us, right? That's why you got people who assimilate to survive, right? And part of that is envying the devil. Because I want to show you and prove to you that I'm one of the good niggas. I'm one of the good ones. I want to be a house nigga. Hey, bro. Like Jay-Z said, field nigga, house nigga, still nigga. It don't matter how, whichever role you plan in their system, you're still nigga to them. It ain't gonna change. After they use you up to destroy us, they gonna destroy you, and they gonna do you even worse. Because that's one thing about our enemies. I could say our enemies would rather fight somebody who resists instead of somebody who just come and just fall into their hands. They love a challenge because remember we said earlier, it's a sport to them to hunt down our steps. I yield, King. Go ahead.
Con, they don't respect people that do the whole kowtow to them, man. They don't respect people that out of everything that you know that you've done to our people throughout history, you know, they don't respect the people that's try to those of our people who, you know, who try to put on the cape and say, well, guess what? I'm going to be better than them. You know what? I forgive you. I'm a good Christian, right? Because that's not what Christ was ever commanding you to think like. To where now you have to put on the cape for these people. To where now you have to shoot down every thought and every conversation about racism in the United States, every conversation about slavery and the history of our people in the United States, every conversation about colonism and the consistent bloodshed, and of course, the waste that they've left throughout history. Anytime you are met with that, guess what? Turn the other cheek, right?
Right.
Or when it comes to the police brutality and shootings that, you know, we face today in today's day and age, that by the hands of these same people in a similar, if not the same spirit that, of course, our forefathers endured. You was never taught to treat it with, again, this mindset of just be docile. Just, hey, turn to the other cheek. Just guess what? Just let it happen, right? But no, this is what Christ said. Read Luke 18 and verse 7. Check this out. This is the same Christ that taught this, and we're going to show you the context and the misinterpretation and the misrepresentation of what it is that Christ was teaching over here in Matthew chapter 5. Excellent teaching from the Captain Ayardo. Bring it out.
Luke 18 and verse 7. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?
So is the Most High God, if our God is just, and if there is a God, what is he going to do about these things? Is it just up in the air? Is it kind of just like a thing of, you know, America is going to get away for everything that they've done? I don't believe so. No. As a matter of fact, Christ told you that that's not even what your prayer should be. And as a matter of fact, What is it that the apostles look for? What is it that Christ was actually raised up as a horn of salvation, that the hands of his people should be delivered from their enemies? This is what the New Testament Israelites was looking for. This was what the New Testament Jews they hoped for, right? The apostles asked, "What are you then going to? Are you now going to return the kingdom to Israel? Whose
I was
rule
just about to pull that.
God, bring that out. Whose rule are they under right now? Right? Who's got Jerusalem on lock at this time? The Romans.
The Romans.
Who's assumed authority over them at this point in time? But guess what? Christ. Guess what? Bring that out real quick. Or just read that first real quick.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
So are you now at this time going to restore a kingdom unto us, to where we have our own things? We're able to serve the Lord without fear, right? We're able to, have everything that we have is our own, right? Is now the time for that? This is what they're looking for. And guess what? This kingdom that's for Israel is within Israel, according to Christ. So what did he have to do in order to get us to this point? He had to leave us some instructions, right? Because guess what? Continue to read on in that Luke 18 real quick, and then let's go to that Matthew 5.
Kind of the one. Luke 18 and verse 8. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
So guess what? I tell you, speedily, the Son of Man will avenge them. Guess what? The Most High God, he's not, it's not just going to be a thing, he kind of just, during slavery, he kind of just do like, the little, no, he didn't just hide behind his hands. No, he witnessed everything. And guess what? He took note of it. He took account of it. And guess what? He has it marked against him. To this very day, as the sins of this place reaches the heavens, he commands us to come out from their ways, to unplug ourselves from the programming that they've given us, to unplug ourselves from what? The ways that has been promoted onto our people. This self-hatred, this hatred for each other, right? That's been so deeply rooted within you. You have to unplug from that. But it takes understanding the teachings of Christ in order to do that, right? How is it that we're supposed to love our people? At what point do we draw the line? That's a pretty far line that you got to draw when it comes to teaching that verse in Matthew 5 is talking about slavery, bro. It's a kind of a squiggly line. You see what I'm saying? But let's go to that Matthew chapter 5 real quick. Let's really look at what Christ is teaching here. Go to Matthew chapter 5 and go to verse number what do I want? Start at verse 38 real quick.
Matthew 5 and verse 38. Ye have heard it, Salakia. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
So you've heard that it's been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. This is what you know that the law says. This is what a lot of you have been raised, to kind of just think like, right? I'm not talking about like you, but I'm talking about as in his audience. This is speaking to what? Jews, right? If you don't believe me, guess what? We'll prove it to you. Go to Luke chapter, I said Luke. Real quick, Matthew 4 and 25, real quick. And Captain Ayala, if you can, give me Exodus chapter 21 in verse number 20. Start at verse 23.
All right.
Just hold that for me.
Matthew Matthew 4 and verse 25. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee and from Decapolis and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan.
So again, all these people are what? Following Christ from all around the land of Israel, right? And this is the message that they're receiving. Yo, you've heard that it's been said of old time. You've consistently heard this message that an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and that's all that there is to it, right? But no, like we taught earlier, Christ, he's making the law to be kept the way it's always supposed to be kept, right? Because eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth has a context. It has an understanding behind it, right? This isn't a teaching of, guess what? This isn't a teaching of, the white man has been very cruel to you, but don't return that back. This isn't about that. Because guess what? The Most High's judgment is what he's got to wait for, and he's going to put that within the hands of his people, Israel. He can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing about that. But what Christ is teaching is what you do have control over. And that's what? Loving your brother. That's what? Keeping the commandments the way that they're supposed to be kept. Check this out. Exodus 21 and start at verse number 22.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 21, verse 22. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine.
So guess what? And also, Kwame Shala and Shalom to the Captain Shalom on the scene. Yahabashim Shabrakatah.
Hey, Shalom, Captain Shalom, Yahabashim Shabrakatah.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.
But yo, this has a context. If men strive and it gets to a point where a woman with a child gets hurt, guess what? It's some serious repercussions for that thing. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth is a judgment from the Most High God in regards to what? Things being taken way too far. In regards to a fire that has been kindled and it ends up consuming the life of someone else getting harmed by it, right? It has a context. We look at this like this is just a default way to be, and that's what Christ was speaking against, right? Continue to read.
Verse 23. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for a hand, foot for a foot.
So guess what? So guess what? Yo, you're going to have to pay that back, right? As a matter of fact, find me that in the law real quick, right? Shoot. As a matter of fact, I think that it's right here. Yeah, jump up to verse number 18. Exodus 21 and 18.
Exodus 21, verse 18. And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone, or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed.
Yo, so even in the law, guess what? The Most High is aware that problems and misunderstandings can happen amongst our people, right? Controversies can arise. Yo, issues and disputes where, guess what? Somebody talking to Greasy and we want to see about you, bro. Yo, the Most High knows how Jake is, especially to Jake, right? But even still, yo, this commandment is a safety net. It's supposed to prevent you from letting it get to a point like this. No, you're not just gonna be able to just whoop on your brother and just walk away scot-free from that. No. But instead, guess what? Because that's my son too. As you are, that's my son too. That's how the Most High sees his people, right? It's like a father watching siblings fight, right? It's like, no, right? I don't want to say I was ready to get him in the neck. Right? But guess what? The Most High is saying, yo, you want to pay for him to be thoroughly healed throughout the process in which you've damaged him. So it's not even like, you just get to walk away scot-free, oh yeah, with the pride of, guess what? With the pride of, yo, oh yeah, I don't beat this nigga. Like, you don't get to walk away with that kind of mindset, but instead you get to sit down and think, yo, this is what I actually did. Yo, I don't really hurt my brother, right? I don't really hurt him. And guess what? I got to pay for that now. Yo, the commandments is perfect. There is no better moral framework in the world. Show me a better moral framework. Show me something better than the laws of God, man. Right?
You go hard pressed to find it.
What'd you say?
I say you're gonna be hard pressed to find that.
You're gonna be
waiting for a long time.
You're gonna be still here. After hours gonna take it's gonna be 24 hours. You're gonna be in next Sabbath waiting on that, right? And still ain't gonna get none.
Hey, what the angel called Sarah stricken in age? Hey, you gonna be stricken in age, Tom, but you still ain't found that? Like, yo, because there's nothing that can compare to this, man. Nothing.
Nah, for real. And guess what? But Captain Shalimar is right. Gotta be ready, because he might not get that response. Somebody may say, well, what about this? You gotta prove that. Let's really look at what it is that this means for us as a people and this way of life, and how this would be, how practical this is. And and guess what? We can compare it, right? You look at all these different religions, man. You look at all these different customs and cultures, man. You look at Islam and you think, and some stuff within Islam. But when it comes to the laws of God, they're perfect, right? So definitely, you got to prove that too. You got to be able to back that thing up, man. We can show many cases. It's not just within just how you deal with, your people, but the laws of God is like what Solomon said. It deals in the ways of equity. What's best for everybody, right? And you see that all throughout the commandments, but you have to take the time to really look and study them, right? But when it comes, or go ahead.
Hey, just to add to your point, that's why, like during this time, right, Moses had set up 70 elders over the people, right, to govern the people when it comes to controversies between two brothers or a brother and a sister, so forth, right? And inquisition has to be made. Like, even when it comes to committing a sin unto death, it wasn't just, hey, you got, see, 2 or 3 witnesses, see, they did it. No. I gotta really go and do an investigation concerning that. Because, that's a brother, that's an Israelite that I may or may not have to put to death. So I gotta take this thing serious. I can't just say, oh, I got my two witnesses. Boom. No, I got to really find out what's going on here. Right? And that's in anything pertaining to a brother offending another brother or a sister offending another sister. Right? Because matter of fact, give me I'm gonna just show you. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 1. And Qua, even in the New Testament teaches this concept. Give me First Corinthians chapter 6.
Con.
Give me that Deuteronomy first.
Lucky everyone. You said 7 and 25?
Nah, chapter 25, verse 1.
Okay. Kind of them. Deuteronomy 25 and verse 1. If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked.
So that they may justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Why? Because they're set up to establish the order of the law amongst that governs our people, right? It's not about just exacting judgment on our people, even with the law in place. It's not. That's not how the Most High works, right? Because there's mercy even within the law. The Most High showed mercy. Remember, I'll give you an example. Remember with Joshua and Caleb, right? Remember, because they were a part of the older generation. Their generation passed. But guess what? Their generation was circumcised. Guess who wasn't circumcised? The generation that was born in the wilderness. But according to the law, if you wasn't circumcised on the 8th day, guess what happened? You were cut off from the people. You was given the boot. You was given the Leonardo 300 boot up out of the up out of Israel. Holla at you. Fend for yourself.
You're out of there.
You're out of there. Right? But what happened? The Most High told Joshua, hey, circumcise me. That's grace. That's grace. So when they want to say grace and truth came by Christ, there's something that you got to understand. Grace and truth always existed, because what is truth? You ain't got to get it. We should know the classic, Psalms 119, 142. Thy law is true. Thy righteousness is the everlasting righteousness. And thy law is truth. Right? The law is the truth and the true standard that should govern us. Right? So there's always been grace and mercy, man. Even Christ told us over there in Matthew 23, the weightier matters of the law involve what? Mercy, faith, and judgment. Or in other words, righteous judgment. Right? So what we're seeing here is that there were judges that was put into place to establish order. And this is why the New Testament writers, they had an issue with brothers and sisters that didn't follow this order. Read that.
Con, started from the top.
Con,
it's the book of First Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints?
why go to the unjust instead of the saints, which was established to be the judges over the people so that we can deal with our own? We're dealing with family issues. Yes, we got issues in our family. Right? But why are we going to the world and telling the world about it instead of going into our own, who has been put in place to righteously judge the matter according to the law that we both say that we live by and we live according to? Right? But we quick to go to the law. Now, in certain instances where if a brother is putting his hands on a sister and the sister called the police, nigga, you deserve the police to be called on you. You putting your hands on that woman. Hey, it is what it is.
What shall we
You
say?
what shall
Like, yo. I.
Oh, I like that example, Warrior. That's a perfect example. That's a
Yeah.
perfect example. But the problem is though, is that the Pharisees was the judges that was put in place. That's the problem. That's the problem with like that's a perfect example. But the issue is they are the judges that was put into place to rule. That's why when Christ came on the scene, he was cutting them up. What the scriptures say? Give me Colossians chapter 2 real quick. And I'm a yield. Colossians chapter 2, verse 15.
Got another one. It's Colossians chapter 2 and verse 15. And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a shoe of them openly, triumphing over them in it.
Right? He publicly cut them to shreds with the doctrine, the true doctrine of the Bible, right? Which is the law. Because when you go and read when Christ says that he didn't come with his own doctrine, that's talking about his own law. When you go and look at that definition, it's talking about the law of God. He ain't come with his own law. So when people sit here and say that he came with his own law, they better look at that word doctrine. 'Cause that is it's talking about the law of God. That's what it's referring to. I don't know if you want to pull that up real quick, but yeah, just for all our studious watchers, go look at that. Just go look it up, man. But yeah, man. So when it comes to the law, the Most High got all things covered because He foresaw all this is going on. You know what I mean? Because people will come with, I wouldn't say stupid questions or foolish questions, because some questions is valid. Or they don't say don't smoke crack. Okay, who temple do you belong to? Okay, then that cuts all that. You know what I mean? That's covered under all that. You know what I mean? It means talk about be sober. Don't be out here drunk. What does that involve? Like so, you there's certain things you won't see the word, but the topic is still covered. The Most High covered all His bases. You can't get around it. I yield. Go ahead, Ken.
Con, let's pick back up in Exodus 21. Or I would ask, so far, is that point in Exodus 21 clear? Why is an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth? Why did the Most High say that in the first place? It's because it's the repercussion for harming your brother in the event that men get to striving. Y'all get to scrapping.
Mm-hmm.
Or y'all shoot the fade, bro. Y'all throwing hands, right? However you got it, however we say it in today's day and age, man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. Nah, that's
So it
it.
is. It is okay. I was about to say it is one more point that I do want to touch on. That cheat too.
Con.
You finish your point. I don't want to cut
Oh
you
no,
off.
I was trying to I was saying like I think that's it on Exodus 21 real quick. We gonna go back to Matthew 5, but if you have wanted to bring it out real quick, you can.
You going to that cheat
Said to
the turn of the cheat?
Oh yeah, Salakia. I'm just
Yeah, I'll wait until you bring it up.
Salakia. Y'all know me. Y'all, hey man, y'all know how. Yo, listen. It's
Man, it's late night.
it's
It's late
late.
night.
It's late.
It's late. Brothers is a little tired. I ain't gonna lie. But
Salakia.
hey, we putting that work in though, man. Putting
This
that
for
work in still.
that's a fact. Yo, because this is for you, Israel. Yo,
Con.
Christ didn't teach these things just for like just because it's just some cool words to say, just hey yo man, turn the other cheek. Nah, because he's telling you how the Most High would rather we deal with these situations rather than it get to a point. You know what? It's gonna we already deciding for ourselves. It's gonna be an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. We already
Mm-hmm.
decided for ourselves. Guess what? This is what it's gonna get to, right? But no, what Christ is teaching is what the scripture's been saying. This isn't a new concept, but it seems new when they slap that new coat of paint over it. Yo, that's like painting over leather. It started chipping, and like you get able to peel it away, and you're just like, hold on, wait a minute. This isn't the this kind of something different, right?
Right.
This ain't the same color. This isn't the same material at all, right? Oh no, sister, don't do the brother. Nah, not my brother, not y'all.
Oh, man.
But
Oh man.
surely we not going for that in the chat, sis. But nah,
She hit me with the elder. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
yo, it's shoot, but hey, listen. When it comes to that point in when it comes to that point in verse number 38, it could seem like that at a surface level glance, but is that the teaching though? It has a context. When we look at the law, it's talking about how Israelites deal with each other, right? It's talking about domestic disputes. You're not having this conversation when it comes to the war crimes that was done over here in America against black people. When it comes to the genocides that we've endured, you're not. This isn't even the same kind of level as that conversation. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to loving your enemies, turning the other cheek, we have to really discuss the misrepresentation of
Ooh.
Christ in that conversation. Continue to read.
Verse 39, but I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Yo, because when it comes to dealing with your people, expect some sort of disagreement. Expect sometimes for your people. Yo, guess what? It's like Sirach says, this is a man just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's like James said in James chapter 3. It seems like in all things and in some things we offend everybody, right?
Right.
It's difficult to go through this life without offending somebody in some way, shape, or form. Turn the other cheek. The scripture says what? Give me Sirach chapter 19 real quick. It's a specific verse that I want. I hope that that's it, right?
Sirach 19 and
This is the glittering sword, brother. But now, give me Sirach chapter 19. Go to verse. Or is it Sirach 16? Nah. What I want is the verse where it says, bear not hatred to thy neighbor, for every wrong. I don't gave the verse.
Nah, you know what? That's the exact verse I was looking for just now.
Yo, that's the spirit.
Yo, because I had it earlier. Because and I forgot to write it down too.
It's all
That's
good.
crazy.
Count that one. I got it.
You got it?
Sirach 10
Yeah,
verse
I
6.
knew it. Man, but I need to trust myself a bit more. Go ahead, Ken. Bring it on.
Sirach 10 and verse 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and
So
do not.
that's what Christ is teaching you here. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong. Read that verse one more time from the top.
Got another one. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices.
And you doing things by injurious practices, meaning dangerous, risky, when you choosing to what? We gonna take it that far with it, right? But the main point of that scripture is what? Don't bear hatred to your neighbor for every wrong. Yo, guess what? Turn to him the other side if he smites you on the right cheek, man. Right? What he's teaching is to opt for peace, right? That's why he says resist not evil. He's saying what? He's telling you what? Be not overcome with evil, overcome evil with good, right? Or he's teaching you what? I got Proverbs 24 and verse 29 right there. He's not telling you to be no pushover either, because we know what Christ teach. We know what it is that he believes, man. And of course, we know how his disciples was. Oh, he told him, yo, sell your garment and get a sword, right? We not talking about these there, brother, especially at that context in that time. But to be able to protect themselves, you got to take your security safe. You got to take your security seriously, right? I said, take your security safely. You know it's late. But now, when it comes to that point, Christ understood that, but he understood what it is that his mission was. But his point is not to teach what being a pushover or anything. What he's teaching is to have love and care when it comes to dealing with your people, and some level of compassion, or this level of compassion when it comes to your interactions with them, right? Read that in Proverbs 24 and 29.
Got another one. Proverbs 24 and verse 29. Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the man according to his work.
So I'm gonna return that. Guess what? This is how that cycle continues. All the revenging that goes on over here in Chicago, man. It's glorified in our music. It's become a culture for us out here. Yo, when it comes to, I'm pretty sure, I'm not even gonna say like it's just like only a Chicago thing, but this goes on all throughout our history. I said all throughout our community. Guess what? We had that saying, we talked about it on After Hours before. When they go low, I'm gonna take it to hell, right? What I don't want to say early, I was ready to get at their neck. Right? But when it comes to our dealings with our people, it's a way to go about it. And it shouldn't be already at that high extreme when it comes to dealing with them. You got to see the humanity in them, is what Christ is teaching you here. Let's go back to that that Matthew 5 real quick.
Got another one. Matthew 5 and verse 40.
God.
And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever
read down to verse 42.
And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Verse 42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
So give to him that would ask of you, and him that will borrow of you, don't turn away. Yo, man, when it comes to our people even helping each other and whatnot, man, right? That's something that we have to be willing and able to do. That's something that we gotta want to do, right? You can't have, even the scriptures tell us what? I want to say that's Deuteronomy 15 that teaches that point. What the scriptures even teach you, don't have an evil thought in your heart towards your brother when he's down on his luck and he needs your help. He said, let there not be an evil thought in thy heart concerning this, right? So when it comes to that point, guess what? Christ is teaching you what? To change your mindset when it comes to interacting with your people. Should it just only be the people that I'm cool with? And yo, we even got to master this within Israel. Is it only your congregation, the brothers that you study with? Or is it, yo, I'm an Israelite. I come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Right?
Right.
What are we going to choose to be? Are we going to love our people, whether we're down with them 100%, or I would say close knit with them, and or are we going to what? Love them for the commandment's sake, right? With true and genuine, sincere love, man, right? The choice is yours. But it's what? Life or death at the end of the day. This isn't like a, kind of just, oh yeah, take your pick, brother. No, this is more so what? No. It's life or death. But Christ, he's teaching you from a point of, guess what? He's trying to get you to understand the bigger picture. Continue to read.
Verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
Now, guess what? The law does say to love your neighbor, right? But you're never commanded nowhere to hate anybody. Hebrew Israelites, even today, we don't command you to hate anybody. We just teach, guess what? Are we wrong for how we feel about history? Are we wrong for how we feel about the things that we see in the world today and for calling it out and rebuking the evil that we see? No. Are we wrong for not wanting to have these people around us? No. As a matter of fact, same Christ, same book. Somebody give me Matthew 18 and verse number 15 real quick. Check this out. Hold this here in Matthew 5, Aisha.
You said 18, 15?
Come on. Let me show you that there's a difference in the way that Christ told you how to treat particular individuals on the face of the planet Earth. Check this out. I don't think a lot of people have really looked at this verse like this, right? And then I think, man, who's really putting these things in its proper context? Like, I won't say like, people don't really study the scriptures. I'm not going to say it like that, but the way that, we try to study the scriptures, we study it for what? For a place of application, not exactly like the topical ointment. You just read a few Psalms here and there, but no, we read this to observe, to do what it is that's commanded therein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Continue to read or bring that out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall bear thee, if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
So this is a matter betwixt brothers, right? Who is your brother? The children of your people. That's also your neighbor, according to the Bible, right? That's the simple answer to this. But I want to show you the sweet Jesus. What they say, Jesus. And really understanding, his teachings, right? Because you're saying that he is vehemently against the things that we say, the things that we teach, the things that we believe, especially when it comes to our view on the world and nation, right? You believe that we should all be kumbaya with everybody and that we should all join hands and we shouldn't view each other as anything less because guess what? We're all human. And I understand why you think that way. But when you look at what the scriptures actually says, we cannot deny the fact that the Most High God has a chosen people. We can't deny the fact that even in verses like we showed earlier in Acts chapter 1, that there's a kingdom that will be restored again onto Israel. We can't deny the fact that, guess what? The things that the nations have done to his people, they're going to have to pay for that. And that it's still going on today, right? But I don't think you noticed this verse. Read that last point.
What, verse 16?
God.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more,
Talking about
that in the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established.
Referring back to the commandments, referring back to the laws, right? Because he's trying to get his people to keep the law the way that it's supposed to be kept. Read.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
So guess what? Wait a minute. I think they hold on. Wait a minute. Did y'all catch that? Wait a minute. Who's that? What's some heathens?
Who are they? Heathen.
Who are they? Who is that speaking about? The other nations, which shows us in the New Testament, even according to Jesus Christ and his own words, there's a way to treat the other nations.
Yep.
There's a way to treat your people. But guess what? If your brother won't hear you, and he's not going through the process of trying to, whether it be a brother, whether he trespass against you, he's not trying to be a brother. He's not trying to be what it is that the Most High God, he's not trying to be one of his sons, right? He don't see you as one of his sons. That's why we got to get our people to that next level, man. The love has to be strong amongst us, right? It shouldn't even get to this point. But Christ, he's trying to teach us to prevent it. You don't want to be treated like no heathen. That's not a good thing. The publicans, they will ostracize because, it's like you a traitor to your own people. But you looking at it from the King's English and you getting confused by what it's saying, right?
Right.
But you got to keep that in mind. So when Christ is teaching this, it's the exact same context, right? Who is your enemy in this verse? Give me that example real quick. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 4. Or hold that verse. Actually, you pick back up in Matthew chapter 5 real quick and just read on down.
Found that one. Matthew 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
So this is the instruction that was given concerning how to deal with your brothers that's, they just in opposition to you. And this is perfect preparation because guess what? You're going to face a lot of this if you're seeking to follow me. They persecuted the prophets that came before you. But, it's already known what type of time in the other nations is on. Christ understood that. John the Baptist understood that. Christ called Herod a fox. He know he is sneaky deal. No, he is sneaky devil. John the Baptist, he rebuking him. You can't do that, right? And guess what? He ain't trying to hear that. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get his rocks off, bro. And these is the people that you're saying that this is speaking about, but no, it's on a completely different level. It's got a completely different context, right? Is this talking about how you deal with your brothers, how you deal with your own people, right? It's already a way to deal with the other nations, according to Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't even left out Matthew. So when it comes to that point, continue to read.
45. That ye may be children of your Father, which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust.
But wait a minute. Who is the sons of God? Who is the children of the Most High God? Right? Romans chapter 9 tells us something very key. It says, what? The children of the flesh, yo, they're not the children of God. Is it talking about, people that walk after the flesh? Yo, it's not talking about that. Paul was very specific when he was teaching that. He was speaking about what? The other nations who were also born of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? These are not the children of God. But he's making a point that what? Your brothers and your sisters are. So when it comes to that point, what's going to make us the children of the Most High God is by what? Adhering to the instructions of our fathers. Just being an Israelite is not enough, right?
Right.
You got to follow your father's instructions, the house rules. Continue to read.
Count that one. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
So the context is been firmly laid down that this is talking about your people. That last example, that Exodus 23 real quick.
You said what verse?
Exodus 23 and verse number 4 real quick.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 4. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again.
This isn't talking about just like what do you imagine when you see this? What do you think this is talking about? This is just talking about, just some random so-called white guy just wandered into the camp and his ox just fall into a ditch and we're gonna help him. What do you see when you think of this? What comes to mind? Yo, these is brothers. Yo, they kind of at odds with each other, but they been around, right? They in a position to have to bear this with each other, this burden to be carried by themselves, man, right? Because guess what? I tell you what, Esau not gonna do that for you.
No.
You got to do that for yourselves. You got to do that for each other, man, right? So when it comes to this verse, yo, and even still pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Christ told you what to pray against the nations that oppress you. So this is talking about somebody completely different, somebody that's close, somebody that you don't want to receive that from. But guess what? Men are going to do this for the kingdom of heaven's sake because you're choosing to follow him. And Christ is trying to make sure that you leave armed with instruction on how to navigate that tough challenge of trying to be a light onto your people, right? It's not going to be easy. Christ, he tried to give us instruction, man. We try to make sure that our people, we stay informed, we stay instructed, and even to ourselves, man. Because when we teach you, we teach ourselves. It's not always easy dealing with your brothers and sisters, but
hey, so like it.
Come on, go ahead.
Hey, on that exact point, right? And it goes with the exact point I wanted to bring out from that turning the other cheek. Can one brother let's get the classic First Peter chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 2, verse 21 and 22. Quad, can you give me let me see real quick. Was it Luke? Give me Luke chapter where he said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." Was that Luke?
I got you.
23 verse 34. And I'm gonna get another scripture after that. But let's get the classic real quick. That First Peter.
And another one. First Peter chapter 2 and verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right? So Christ gave us the blueprint, right? Because he is the blueprint. When you read Ephesians chapter 4, it's talking about us coming together and dwelling in peace amongst each other, right? And what that's going to do is going to lead us to the stature of Christ, or to the perfection that is in Christ, because he is that example, right? And a part of that is learning how to deal with your people, just like Kat was bringing out. A part of that is learning how to deal with your people. And a lot of what you're going to see, especially come from doing this work, from being in the camp, you're going to see people are, man, people are going to do you dirty, right? People are going to do you dirty. And a question that may pop up in your mind is, okay, where do I draw the line? Now, that is actually a question that was addressed in the scripture, right? The apostles asked Christ, okay, how many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times 7? Right? Christ said, nah, 70 times 7. Because how can you ask your father to forgive you who you don't see, and yet you holding an ought against the brother who you do see? Right? Because a lot of times what you learn in this walk, being in this truth, is you gonna have to overlook offenses. Just Kat brought it up earlier. You gonna have to overlook offenses. And how did Christ overlook these offenses? Read verse read the verse before that Clark. What's that 20?
23 and 34?
Yeah, read not 34.
33.
Read 33. Yeah.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 33. When they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then say
20 Salakia 23, chapter 23, verse 33.
That was 23 and 33.
23, 33? Oh, yeah. Keep reading.
Then say Yahushua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots.
Now, mind you, they just put him up on this cross to crucify him, a man who is not guilty, right? And yet laid down his life for the very same people who is having him crucified. And he looked up to the Father and said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Right? Because this is what he did. Give me Isaiah chapter 50, verse 6. This is what he did.
The book of Isaiah chapter 50 and verse 6. I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair.
My who? My who?
To the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair.
Read.
I hid not my face from shame and spitting.
I mean, what did they do to him? They plucked his hair, smacked him up, smited him, parted his clothes. They spit on him. Made him an open shame. Right? They did all of these things, and yet he said, "What, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Right? And what is required of us? Give me that Romans chapter 12, 12
God,
verse 1.
God, it's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
It is our reasonable service to lay down our life, right, for the service of God, right? And a part of that it will involve of you turning the other cheek. That's not for you to. That's not saying a brother coming to you try to swing on you. You just, hey man, here go my other one hitting me. Nah,
You
nah.
you lean into it.
You just lean into it. Nah, nah. That's not calling making you no chump. None of that. I'm not saying that. You gotta defend yourself. Defend yourself. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you you wrong for defending yourself. But once you see you got the upper hand, yo, let the brother go. Let him go. Right? Because he probably just snuck you. That's it. But that's what chumps do. They sneak. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, outside of all that, right? Just as Christ laid down his life for the people, that's what we're doing, laying down our lives for the people. He presented his body as a living sacrifice until he was crucified, and Christ told us to what? Take up our cross and carry it daily. In other words, present our body as a living sacrifice, which is a reasonable service. And with that being said, when somebody do us wrong, jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Overcome evil with good. Remember the scripture said over there in Matthew, don't resist the evil, but overcome it with good. And how do you overcome it with good? Give me that Proverbs 25 again. 25 verse 21.
Got another one. Proverbs 25 and verse 21. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee.
You kill evil with good. You kill evil with kindness. Right? We all heard the worldly proverb. Right? You kill them with kindness. That's how you kill them. You kill that adversary spirit that's on them that they have towards you, right? You kill that. When they thirsty, can you go, brother? Wait a minute, why are you giving me this? Because I love you. I'm overlooking an offense. I'm overcoming evil with good. And in the process, I know the Most High got my reward. Because the one who's going to heap those coals on your head is him. Because he's going to convict you for what you did to me. So I don't have to revenge. I got the judge who's going to revenge for me. Because I'm part of the hopeful elect.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, man.
Nah, just real quick. Because when you think about man's vengeance and the things that we do, or the things that we can do, what can we do? What most we can do is, like Christ said, just take a man's life. But afterwards, because we know that that's the wrong spirit to be in. Especially, I know Jay, right? And afterwards, we're thinking, and we're left with that feeling of, dang, I shouldn't have did that. Or we left with some sort of consequence or regret after the situation is over with. And yo, it's as a result of what? That evil that you again returned onto him, haven't been overcome with that, right? So what the part of that sacrifice is putting aside or giving in exchange for what it is, the pleasure of, not letting that slide, boosting your ego. What it is it? Hey man, I can't. You're not gonna do my name like that. Guess what? What you value more is the life of your brother. What you value more is a life of not just yourself, but those around you too. Because like we've seen in the law, that can affect the fam, right? So when it comes to that teaching of not seeking that vengeance, man, because what does it end with? That vicious cycle that we see within our people today, man. And I yield back there.
That's that. What else? What is it? The same chapter? Um, nah. Devouring each other, not to devour each other. Or is that
Galatians 5.
Galatians. Yeah, I just want to say, nah, that's not like Galatians.
It's cool. Galatians 5 and verse number 15.
15, yeah.
This is a great point to bring it to.
Galatians 5 and 15. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another.
Right. So even if, because we got issues, yes, we got issues that we need to work out, but within working those issues out, let's not devour each other. It got to get to a point where we be like, yo, wait a minute, bro. We both claiming that we keep the laws. We both claiming that we love each other. We love our family. And we got to enact that in this moment. Or at least one of y'all got to have the headspace and the wisdom to recognize, just go too far. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Right? One of y'all, both of y'all can't be niggas. Like, come on, man. One of y'all got to be an Israelite indeed in that moment.
Right.
Have some self-control and be like, yo, wait a minute. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So if I'm claiming I love my neighbor as myself, then I don't want to devour myself. Then I'm going to look at you and be like, I don't want to devour you either. Right? So that's how these laws this is how the law is supposed to be enact and implemented. You know what I mean? Are you okay?
Hey, Khan, that's an excellent point because, it's just like you said, we can't all be like that. Somebody has to care, right? Somebody has to care enough to make a new decision. We got to be on a new wave, and our communities, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, has to be on a new wave that we can be the ones to push, right? Not saying, we gonna, God forbid, we cause problems, but we have to be that light in that situation. And when I teach you, I teach myself, man, right? And then what it's gonna take is this. Read verse number 16.
Verse 16. Yep. Then I say, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
We have to walk in the spirit of God. It's the desire of the flesh to what? To continue in that hatred. It's comfortable, right? I don't have to work and process through the emotions that they've caused me. And I don't have to be met with that situation. I don't have to talk through these things, right? It's easy to go like that. It's easy to just stay in that. But nah, it's difficult, like Proverbs 6, to say, well, no, go to the ant thou slugger. Yo, be as the roe. Deliver yourself if you've been entangled in your words, right? Christ said what? Go before the altar. Wait, leave your gift at the altar. Go reconcile with your brother first, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the easy thing to do. But what? It's what you're going to do is if you're following in the spirit of God, man, right? You're not seeking for that condemnation, right? You're seeking to keep the commandments of the Lord. That's what it, Paul, he teaches that so consistently, that's what the spirit, that's what it means to walk in the spirit. You see that in Romans 8 too, right? Read down in verse number 18 real quick, and we're going to close out with that.
Kind of one. For the lust, Salakia, verse 17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law.
So if you're being led by the spirit, then those different things like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, has no power over you. Guess what? He that hateth his brother in his heart is a murderer. That has no power over you. You're not under that. And you're not subject to that punishment if, guess what? You're being led by the spirit. If that's what's guiding your decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that teaching of loving your enemies and understanding what it means to turn the other cheek, yo, it's been most able and put within its proper context, in its proper lens. And hopefully we can stop misrepresenting Christ concerning what it's saying when it says these things. It's not talking about, you gotta have forgiveness for a slave master. No.
Nah.
Hopefully that's been.
Matter of fact, I want to cut that too.
Come on, bring it out.
Let's get the classic. Go to Hebrews chapter 13.
Come on.
Let's see if the Most High is going to forgive him.
I'm there.
You already should know what I'm on.
Are you looking for Revelation 13?
No, Hebrews.
Hebrews 13.
No place for repentance.
Oh, it's like it. Hebrews 12 and verse number 16.
12. Come on.
And it reads, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward he would have inherited the blessing. He was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
The Most High said he sought to get his blessing black. Yeah. He sought to get his blessing back after he sold it for some red meat, right? Because he was hungry, right? But he found no place for repentance. He could go back on his word. And guess what? His fate was sealed from that moment, right? His fate was sealed from that moment once he sold his birthright. And it was over, bro. Now, we understand the scripture where it says, even before they was born, we know that, right? I'm just saying, like, when I say his fate was sealed from that moment, dude, it was over for you. The blessing was already gone. You couldn't get it. You can't change your mind now. That's what I'm speaking about, right? Because this was always orchestrated by the Most High. You was always destined to be our enemy, to be our counterpart, as we was created clean contrary to you, as a different manner of people to you, right? So when the Most High said, you, no matter how much you sought repentance with tears, you ain't getting forgiven. Matter of fact, give me Amos chapter 1. Why are you not getting forgiven? Because of this. Amos chapter 1, I want to say verse 4. Not verse 4, 11.
Amos.
Verse 11.
God. I'm there. It's the book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
He kept his wrath forever. Doesn't it seem like he kept his wrath forever when he got out that car and was running up to that young man talking about, yeah, I breathing all hard and stuff? It was like he about to have like he about to have a whole heart attack.
Right.
Because he held his wrath forever. His anger did tear perpetually. Throughout history, he been trying to hunt us down. And look what happened when he finally got the opportunity. Look what he did to us. And the Most High said, you transgressed one too many times. This is just the King's English version of saying one too many times. And the Most High said his judgment was set. His judgment is set. So it ain't no forgiving you. No matter how much you seek it with tears, ain't no forgiving you. I'm not forgiving you. I never tell my people to forgive you. Never. None of y'all. All y'all go get it. Some of y'all still go be here, but that don't mean I for none. Because get out of if it's the Most I see fit, if for me to be there, guess what? Get out of line if you want to. Get out of line if you want to.
Con. Hey,
Right, go ahead, Ken.
They had no mercy when it came to dealing with us, man. Right? What do you expect us to say? Genuinely. And to that point, man, you think that Christ, who told you in Revelation 2, Revelation 3, that he's going to dash the nations with a pot of dang. I'm going to dash the pieces with a rod of iron, like a potter's vessel. And guess what? You think that he kind of just don't know that the Most High gonna get them back for this, that they still have judgments in place? You think he kind of forgot this when he was teaching, to love them and to forgive them? No, he was saying, no, you got to deal with this when it comes to your people. Last precept, Leviticus 19 and verse 17 through 18. Quick on a sword.
I got you.
The whole point of that, the whole point.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
So when it comes to what it is that the point of this teaching is, it's emphasizing one of the greatest commandments, one that a part of the law hangs on, and it connects you to the second, it connects you to the first greatest commandment as well, because this is how we become the children of our Father in heaven. This is how we become perfect, even as our Father in heaven is perfect, by perfecting our love for each other. And doing that, we're perfecting our love for the Father. So when it comes to, it's shoot, gonna add, I'm gonna be on here. She's gonna be me. This is gonna be kicking doctrine. This. Hey, yo, and listen, brother. And on the in the 30th fold, because I was getting ready to explain, like, man, a lot of these points of mercy is points that the Most High God has shown with us. So
Right.
us exercising that with our people, man, right? It's understanding to love our enemies and what it means to turn the other cheek, man, and to cast down these misrepresentations of Christ. Y'all been butchering his teachings. And with that being said, Most High willing, y'all been giving some clarity through the spirit and power of the Most High God, not because of us, but because of what's written. And we're going to close up again, giving, of course, all praises, honor, glory, and thanks to him in the name of his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, who the world knows as Christ. Hey, it's me, your brother Kwabza Allah, and I was here with
Captain Ayel.
Soldier Ashiar.
And again, we're with the Sons of Thunder Israelites. Our heart's prayer desire that all Israel may be saved. Ashar Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah.
Shah Shabbat. Shalom.
Shah Shabbat.
Kwam Yasha Allah.
Soft and warm, the quiet storm, quiet storm.
Thank you for watching. If you wish to donate, you can use Zelle or PayPal. We're the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. Shalom.